Welcome to the Lost Birds Knitting Podcast. I'm Allison. Allison? I can't say my own name. I'm Allison, also known as Lost Birds on Ravelry. I'm Lost Birds Fiber on Instagram. And one of those two, most other places, so.
And I'm Danielle. I am also known as Bright D on Ravelry and Lady D Bright on Instagram. And we have a Ravelry group now.
Yes, we have a Ravelry group. You can look up Lost Birds Knitting Podcast, as well as a YouTube page, a channel, Lost Birds Knitting Podcast, and I'm also posting the show notes on my blog. So it's lostbirdsfiber.com, and you just go to the blog tab there, and it'll take you to where you can find the show notes. So exciting. And we have
members.
We have 7 members in our group, and we were actually really surprised because we just posted the group, and we didn't advertise or anything, so thank you, members, new members.
We're surprised
we love
anybody
you.
wants to watch us.
Thank you. I think we have, and you said we have a couple of YouTube subscribers too. So.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I hope that that's the whole point of this, is that we want to meet, we want to meet other knitters outside of our very limited small circle. We don't have any festivals here where we can go.
Yeah, we're not very special.
And it's, it's a very long plane ride to get to anywhere where there are festivals, so we're just kind of limited. So thank you for our members, and if you made it through that first hour-long episode, again, thank you for returning, and I hope we'll try and cut down on the time. And I noticed watching the last episode, I tend to trail off at the end of my sentences, so I'm really going to work on that.
And I would tend to mumble.
Yeah, mumbling, speaking too quietly, and rambling a little bit. I mean, these are all things that I hope we'll work on, and so
get better with age.
Yeah, please stick with us. We are a work in progress, and we'll get better, I hope. So, that being said, we're into our flight plan for the week. What are you working on?
Yeah, I'm currently working on some stripy socks, and just some vanilla cuff-down socks. I don't really have a formal formula. It's just kind of making stuff up as I go along. Again, with the mumbling, sorry. I am working with Knitter's Nightmare yarn from Sadie Blue Ruin, and she is Yarn Award podcast, and this is her Baddie sock base, and I do believe it's Mother of the Universe colorway, but if you know I'm wrong, I apologize, but it's kind of sort of fantastic. The colors are super vibrant, and I am kind of in love with it, not gonna lie. I have a couple other things on the needles, and some spindle stuff, or not, some spinning wheel stuff. Apparently I had some fiber on my shirt, sorry. I'm working on some baby sleep sacks. I'm going to kind of end up making like a factory style baby sleep sack.
A baby knitting factory.
Yes,
in the next 6 months or something.
We've determined, we were talking about this, and it determined I have 6 people in my life that are currently having children. I think it actually might be up to 7 now, because I found out that my cousin's wife is now pregnant too.
My goodness.
With her second child.
What storm or thing, whatever happened?
I was going to say, I think anytime I say to somebody that I don't want to have children now, that whoever I'm talking to is end up being pregnant. So Don't talk to me
You
if you
curse
don't.
them, yeah.
Don't talk to me if you want children.
Don't tell Danielle.
But I'm just kind of, again, fudging, it's knitting, instead of making a pattern with it. And so this one is going to be a bumblebee one, and it'll have like the yellow stripes going down. And then I'm trying to put a stinger on the end of the sleep sack, and then it'll have a matching hat to go with it with antenna on it. But we'll see how it actually goes, if it's presentable.
It's good so far.
I have a finished object here, and this is just some Ashland Bay spinning. It's a true 3-ply, so I had it on 3 different bobbins, and plied it together. And it ended up being a heavy fingering weight to a sport weight. I don't know if you can see that. But when I was pulling it off my wheel, I ended up being a little impatient and got my 3-yard nitty nutty that I made from PVC pipe. So it's like,
it's a very, very long skate that she won't have a Swift to.
No. So I think chairs or a husband would be involved in this one.
Yes.
Though I'm not 100% sure that the husband would sit still long enough in order to...
Well, I'd be happy to help you.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to say, I was thinking of some kitchen chairs.
Yeah.
That should work, right?
Whatever is convenient at the time, I suppose.
Just have to make sure my cat is away, you know. Hey,
was your bat safe, by the way?
My bat was safe.
Okay, good.
Last episode, Allison gave me a bat that she made on her drum carter. And on the way over here last Sunday, by the way, this is take 2.
Yeah, this is actually episode 2.5. We recorded one already. Went to play it back, and there was no sound. So that's always a fun surprise. We did a little test video this time. We're learning lessons as we go.
Yes, exactly. Oh, by the way, today is Tuesday, July 22nd, 2014.
Good point.
Yeah. And I realized today that it has been exactly 1 year since I started in my current position at work.
Oh, well, happy anniversary.
So that was interesting. I'm like, oh yeah, I was here a year now.
Did you you need to get a cake or something at work, right?
I would just prefer like a jumbo coffee, because that would be more useful to me. I'm also working on some fleece that I got back when I was back in the States last May. And this is a CVM. I couldn't tell you exactly what it stands for, the CVM. I know that M stands for mutant, though.
Because that's the most fun one, you know. I know. I can't tell you either, but I know. I know. I have looked it up.
I want to say it's like California something mutant, but
I think
again,
I'm not going to make a guess because I'll be wrong.
But yeah, the M stands for mutant. That's how I remember. But I have to bring it back here. Apparently, not get so close to the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But it ends up being this kind of cool, very cool gray, heathered. This is my first time working with raw fleece and processing fleece. So there's a little bit of lanolin here from when I washed it, and there's a little bit of like nubbies in here. But I'm gonna say it's all good, right?
Well, yeah, and it's not commercially processed,
right.
You know. It's not gonna necessarily.
But I'm gonna say when I'm spinning it, you can definitely feel like the lanolin in it, kind of the grease in it. And
well, that must be kind of nice, though. I would think.
I'm
feels good on your hands.
Mm-hmm, I didn't have to oil my wheel, that's for sure. Except for I should. But by the way, with the Ladybug, if you don't buy the oil commercially, you have to use small engine oil. Like lawnmower oil or whatever else. And that's a little difficult to find out here, apparently.
I just bought the oil But it comes in like little refillable bottles, so I mean I plan on. Well, when you say small engine oil, do you mean like 2-stroke engine or what?
It's actually an oil weight.
Oh, okay.
And it's 5 weight or something like that.
Huh.
Not your standard, car oil.
I see. I didn't look up exactly what it was.
So I found it on Camp Foster Marine Corps base.
You did?
This last weekend.
Good.
And I picked up 2 bottles of it because I don't think I will find it again anytime soon because it wasn't on Kadena Air Force Base.
2 bottles?
Yeah, 2 bottles.
Because That's a lot of oil.
No, there's a point to this, I promise.
Okay.
Because I know my husband will find it, use it on the lawnmower, and I will have none.
Oh.
See?
You gotta hide it from him.
Where, though?
Well, your fiber stuff, I guess.
Put it inside of the fiber.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
Something else I'm working on. Actually, I will address this in mail calls. So
okay,
I'm gonna set that aside.
All right.
Okay. So what are you working on, Madame?
Well, I'll show you my finished objects first. I didn't already. No, I didn't talk about these. See, we already did this episode, and now I'm gonna have deja vu and think I already talked about
I'm
this.
saying, the way I was talking right now, that was very well practiced.
Yes. So hopefully this episode will be a lot more organized. I don't know. Just hoping.
Start talking faster.
Yeah. These are the socks I was working on last episode. They're I did them 2 at a time, toe up, magic loop, and this is I just they're just plain stockinette socks. I used Judy's Magic Cast On for the toe, and then I did a Sherman heel, it's a short row heel, but it it doesn't have any wrapping, which is like you have to wrap and turn. You don't have to do that with this.
Okay, then that's what I do all the time because I refuse to wrap.
I don't like wrapping, so I like this heel, and it fits me well, I find. So, and then I used, I always forget, is it Jenny's?
Surprisingly stretchy.
Yeah, I always get Judy's Magic Cast On and Jenny's Surprisingly Stretchy.
You're not the only one.
Yeah. So, anyway, those are my finished socks. They're out of online brand yarn. They're Super Sock in the Caribbean colorway. And it's like a sport weight, and it's a 6-ply, ended up being like a sport weight, very sturdy. I feel like these are going to hold up really well. So I haven't woven in the ends, but other than that, they're done. So yay, socks.
Yay, yeah.
And then,
just in time for 111.
I know, that I'll never wear in Okinawa.
They'll make good house socks, yeah?
Yeah, it does get down into the 40s here occasionally, so sometimes we use our heater in the winter, so we'll see. This is some yarn that I finished. It's not washed or thwacked or anything, so it's a little bit twisty, but it is a thick and thin yarn. It's just it's out of some fiber that I dyed a long time ago, and I didn't particularly care about, so I was practicing this spinning technique. And it's hard to do consistently, so I think the beginning of the skein is a lot less consistent than the end of the skein, but that's okay. It was an experiment. So,
did you have any trouble with breaking while you were doing it?
I didn't. No, I didn't really have a problem with that so much. I didn't really have any problems other than when you, over twisting the really narrow
The skinny
the
bits.
the thin part. It's easy to over twist that part. I found.
Do you think when you wash and whack it will make it a
I
little bit
think
more
it will help. I don't think I'm gonna get all of these little twisties out, but
nibbly?
yeah. Anyway, it was an experiment. So, and I still think it might knit up into something kind of fun. So, I keep envisioning like little baby hats out of it for some
I'm
reason.
gonna say, or you can do it on like size 15 needles and make it a giant infinity kill.
Yeah, that would be nice too. That would work. So, there's that.
Just for funsies.
Yeah. And so those are my finished objects. Okay, so last week I showed you I had started the color affection.
Well, I don't know if you started it last week.
I think I did. Oh, no, sorry, not last week. Sunday. I haven't shown it to you yet. I started the color affection shawl. And I'm using Malabrigo sock. Their fingering weight yarn, and I have these 3 colors. And as I was knitting it, I should have chosen more contrasting colors because these 2 purples, there's just not enough contrast, I think, for this pattern. So I actually have 2 of the contrast, there are 2 purples in what I've knitted, and it's so hard to tell. I don't want to, that's not what I want. So I'm going to frog this, and I think I'm going to find a different shawl to use these colors with. So, womp womp. And in the meantime, since I didn't have anything else caked up or ready to go, I'm making another little baby blanket for donation. So just a little baby blanket. It's some yarn that was given to me. Just it's Bernat baby blanket. How appropriate. It's like a fuzzy,
Surprise!
really thick yarn. So those, I believe, are all of my projects for right now.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Did you go off course at all? Are you knitting this week?
I did just a bit. Not too terribly off course, but a little bit. And in here is my spooled. One day I will pronounce this correctly. Spooled cardigan.
I thought it was like Shootik.
I'm gonna say you're better at language than I am.
Schoodic, right?
Yes. Yeah. You totally have it. Yes.
Or Shodik, I don't know.
Like I want to say the first part is like school. But
hey, you know what? I'm making it up too, so.
Anyways.
It's whatever, yeah, I don't know.
Making stuff up as you go along.
Yep.
You know, whatever.
Not good at pronouncing some of these names, sorry.
So, part of the lattice work here, I did a fantastic job of, it's one cable stitch, so you're moving a cable over, and I decided apparently one time to purl 2 and then move the cable over versus purl 1, move the cable. So it was highly indented, so I had to drop down and fix the cable, go back up, but there's a stitch here that's a little bit elongated, and I'm hoping that'll block right out.
That's my motto. It'll block out.
It'll block out.
I'm sure it will. You can always pick that stitch a little bit if you need to tighten it up or something.
Living in my fat squirrel bag.
I really like the size of that bag.
I have a bigger one at home that she recently mailed me, so I'm hoping that will be next week's mail call.
Yay.
So, and it's a little girl sitting in the trees.
Oh, cute.
I'm pretty excited about it because it's blue. But yeah, that's my off course. Do you have any off course?
Well, besides my
spinning experiment?
Yeah. I mean, it didn't turn out so bad. It's kind of...
Is it growing on you?
It is a little bit. I think it might knit up okay. It's kind of ugly. I'm not gonna lie. But as far as experimenting goes, it's fine. And the only... Did I have something else? Oh, so... Over the weekend, I did some dyeing, and I did a batch of wool top, and I was really impatient and moved it just a little bit. I was trying to get it out of the way for something else. I think I moved this batch of
just a two.
It was dyed, and I was setting the dye, so it was it had been in a steamer, and I was trying to get another batch going, so I decided it'll be fine, I'll move it. Well, I moved it too much. Or maybe I shocked it. Maybe I cooled it down too quick or something. I'm not sure. It's one of those two. And it didn't totally felt, but it's not as easy to draft as I would like. It's...
Oh, are you spinning it?
No, but I did I just tried to draft out a little bit. I fluffed it up a little bit, and then it was a lot better, but it was just a little bit more matted, I would say, than I would like. But anyway, so patience is a virtue. I won't do it again. And other than that, I did okay. So
very cool.
Our next segment is called Bird's Eye View. It's our overview of the week. What'd you do this week?
I did a whole lot of working.
Yeah.
That's just, full-time job.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say on Friday, I decided to cut my hair just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I was having some problems with getting heat rash on the back of my neck. And
it is so hot here.
And I'm discovering I work in a financial field, and I get to take care of some ATMs that are around Island, and we're in the process of trying to replace some of them, and so I'm discovering that I'm outside more and more, trying to get specs done and whatever else, in a suit.
Yeah, that's gotta be fun.
I chose to be a little bit cooler versus, having to try to do my hair.
Did you wear your hair down at work?
Yeah, most of the time I wore my hair down. By the way, this is Luna. She's Allison's cat.
Yeah, sorry.
And she's trying to give me some love.
She is very, very friendly and loves affection. And she doesn't wait for it to come to her. She comes to you, so, yeah. She's purring right now.
Very loud purring.
Yeah. So.
One thing I did want to talk about is Okinawa World. I say 2 or 3 weeks now, I went to Okinawa World, which is down in the Naha area of Okinawa. And so they have a cave there, and you're able to go and explore the cave. And one of the things that you can do there is work on a floor loom. And it's, I'm going to say it's 8 petal floor loom. And so for 1,700 yen, you can work as much as you want to work on this floor loom for 15 minutes. So I kind of made like a coaster thing. And I had never really woven before. So I have to give mad props to the woman who is doing the display, because she was able to help me out weaving when English is not her mother tongue, and I am atrocious at being a good United States ambassador, and very little Japanese. But this is the coaster. I keep putting it too close to the camera. The coaster that I made for that. And one of the things that we did discuss is these little cross marks here. They are very traditional Okinawan. So it was cool, just learning more about Okinawan culture and everything like that. So yeah, I had a good time.
Weaving and dyeing are they're very traditional crafts here. Indigo dyeing specifically.
And they had a whole room of things that were dyed by sugarcane leaf.
Yeah.
And everything was bright green. So you walk in there and it's like, bam! Bright green.
I've seen another thing where I want to go try it. They take coral, these big pieces of, I think it's like brain coral, if you know what that looks like. It has these kind of like cells that almost look like little stars all over the piece of coral, and they lay the cloth over it, and then it looks like they're dabbing the dye on top of the cloth that's laying on top of the coral, and it makes these amazing patterns in the coral, or on the cloth.
Because of the coral.
Because of the coral, yeah. So
okay.
There's a lot of interesting local crafts that you can try. Glass blowing is also a big thing here, and you can go try that out.
And there's a glass factory. The big one is in Nago area, Nago, Okinawa, and Ryukyu glass is pretty well known. Like should we say it's world renowned?
Possibly. I mean, you see it everywhere. Here, anyway, it's definitely like a souvenir people bring home with them when they visit Okinawa. It's like a very organic looking glass, lots of bubbles in it, and kind of very soft shapes, not hard edged glasses. Everything's very rounded and bubbly, and it's very cool.
Pretty.
Yeah, very pretty. Anything else?
No, that was pretty much my week.
All right. Well,
I'm boring. What can I say?
Yeah, I have to look at my notes to see what I did this week. I did a lot of running around, specifically at the hospital, because I just found out that I'm expecting my second baby here. Coming in March, so we're very excited about that, and we don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet, way too early, but I've got lots of baby knitting to look forward to as well, just like Danielle.
Well, it's different if it's like for gifts versus
for your own
child.
I know, it is different. Yes,
I'm
looking forward to it. It's not obligation knitting. I'm looking forward to the knitting. So.
One of the girls at our knit night that we go to on Monday night just had her child, a little boy, and he just turned a month old. Is that right?
Yeah.
And his name is Riley. So, hi, bro. And
he's adorable.
He's
got
adorable.
a little dimple right in his chin. It's so cute.
So naturally, when I went home to my husband, and I'm like, "Oh, you in trouble?"
She was holding the baby all night at midnight, let me tell you. She was resting her wrists.
I legitimately didn't bring knitting to knit night, so I could just eat takeout food and rest my wrist.
And socialize.
And socialize.
We had a good group, too. And we had a new girl who, like, just got here. She was still staying in a hotel, so
right.
That was exciting,
yeah. And for my wrist, I'm slowly developing carpal tunnel. I don't know about slowly, I guess.
You have it.
I have it.
Yeah.
Into my left wrist, so I get to baby it. And
work-related,
typing.
Work-related, and then exacerbated by
I fell.
By a fall. and probably by going home and knitting and spinning and, you know.
Do what I do to relax.
Yeah.
But anyways, did you have any other things that you did this week?
Well, let's see. Lots of dyeing. I talked about that because I accidentally I was not patient. I don't know. I got lots of dyeing done because it's been so hot here that I like hardly left the house unless I had something to go do. Just, I used to love, summer and the heat and stuff, and maybe it's just here because it is just brutal heat and humidity.
Well, we just had our first rain last night since our typhoon that came through on, what was it, the 8th?
I don't know. yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we had a Category 3 typhoon come through, I believe on the 7th or the 8th. And so Miss Allison has some video on her Instagram of, you know, just the wind just battering everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you didn't have any other damage, right?
Nope, no other damage for us. We were all good here. So no flooding, we didn't get hit by any flying debris. So we were good. Yeah, other than that,
sorry about the whistling in the background.
Huh?
My phone's going off.
Oh.
Again.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
We did go to the beach on Saturday. That was really nice. So we live on a tropical island, and we haven't been to the beach in a really long time. To be fair, it is very, very hot. And even when you're at the water, you know, well, first of all, being near the water, that's the only way I would be outside for any period of time if I had water to go into. And second of all, the sun is so intense, you just have to be very careful. And we have a 2-year-old, you know, you don't want him being out in the heat for that long and getting sunburned. So, but we have a little tent we put up to get in some shade, and like I said, we swam in the water, so it wasn't too bad. It was actually very nice. It was a beautiful day. You know, we have that beautiful turquoise water with the white sand. It's a really the beaches are fairly nice, so we had a good time. And anyway, that's all I did. So, you have any bird calls? Any shout-outs you want to make?
Sure, yes. I brought some with me. I pulled this from my stash. And this is Miss Babs, and this is one of her Babette colorways. Apparently there's puppy hair on it. And this, she's out of Tennessee, and this is her Yummy Sock Base, 2-ply superwash merino fingering weight in the half past midnight colorway. I'm really hoping to, I have one more other skein of this. I'm hoping to make a pretty large shawl out of it. But why I grab this is because I saw recently that they have I would say jumbo skeins, I guess, and it's 3 skeins wrapped up into one, and so you can do 3 color shawls like the Color Affection, and I believe it was $78 for that, and I think that's going to be on my want list.
Yeah, I think that will be on my want list as well, since I need some new yarn for my Color Affection.
So, and I do enjoy working with this. It's, I believe it's the same base, yarn base, as what they have for the 3 different colors. And it's, you know, colors that they have already tested out, as I should say, and goes well together. There's kind of a coffee themed one that
nice.
So I would love to go in like to a Starbucks or a coffee shop and just kind of, you know, knit and be all balled up into my shawl, but alas.
Well, it's still fairly air conditioned. They have Starbucks here, and it's fairly air conditioned. I still go to Starbucks and knit.
They're just a little out of the way. They take a little while to get there.
Yeah, that's true. There aren't any close by ones.
Right.
Let's see. Any other shoutouts?
No, that's all I have for my shoutouts.
Okay. I wanted to give a bird call to Alice Janelle. Alice Janelle is a knitter here in Okinawa who I met through Baby Pearls and Hooks Okinawa, which is a group that was formed to do like mainly baby knitting for donating to the NICU and things like that, but really any kind of donation knitting. So she was a part of that group, and she kind of dropped out to focus on her writing, and she just, well, not just, but she recently, well, I don't even know if it's that really recently, but I just started reading the book that she, I believe she self-published it. I could be wrong, but it's available on Amazon. It's called Untouchable, and it, I think it's supposed to be part of a series or a trilogy, so I think she's working on the other books now. But I thought it's a fantasy, it's a fantasy story about a girl who's she lives in a country where, you know, everyone has magical powers, and she doesn't. But she's a very good thief, so she kind of fools people into thinking that she has magical abilities.
Because of her sleight of hand.
Through her other skills. So I haven't finished the book. I'm about a third of the way through, I would say, and it's an interesting plot, and you should check it out. And good job, Alice. That was very cool. And let's see. Oh, I also wanted to give a bird call to the Artsy Knitter. She is a new podcast that I discovered when I was looking. So we're still kind of figuring out the technical side of this podcasting thing, and we were looking for maybe hosting and things like that, and I found her through my other research. And she has a very interesting background. She's from Jamaica, born and raised there, and then moved to Canada, although I think she's lived in New York and maybe LA, I'm not sure. She's lived a few other places. But her background is actually she has a fine art background, mainly in fashion and fashion photography, and she's worked in the fashion industry. So she has a very interesting perspective on knitting, I think, that I enjoy. And I have a little bit of a fine art, I do, I have a fine art background as well. Not in fashion, but I kind of relate to that part of her podcast. And she, besides that, she's just very cute and kind of like just a little bit crazy. She's she's got a really funky style. She's got kind of half shaved head, and she always wears bow ties when she does her podcast. She's obsessed with bow ties, and she's pretty entertaining. So she's the Artsy Knitter. She has a Ravelry group. She's on iTunes. You should look her up. And yeah, I think that's all I have. That's all I have. Good. So Our last segment is our mail call. So you said you had something to share?
Yes. So I recently found, with my new found love of weaving, apparently, I found a loom for rug weaving from Hen Scratch Quilting, and they're based out of California. And they work with a weaving pattern that's been around for thousands of years. But the actual pattern itself, or the pattern booklet itself, was actually made up from a family that's in Iowa. So, go Iowa. Anyways. This is, I didn't bring the loom over to Allison's place because that would be just too much. So this is the loom.
It's large.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that with the, I don't know if there's a bunch of glare on there. But up here, I have started the weaving as well as down here. And it's rag weaving, so the warp, which is going up and down this way, is a bunch of t-shirts and that sort of stuff that I've cut up into strips. And then I found at the thrift store some queen size sheets and pillowcases that I'm cutting up into strips. So this is a pillowcase strip that I'm weaving into that, and I am new at this, so I am slowly developing a way to pick out the fabrics that I would like to weave with. This red here is definitely a loosely woven type of fabric, because it keeps shedding, and that's kind of annoying when you're weaving with it. And so, I feel like I have to weave with it outside.
But this is woven too, and it doesn't shed as bad.
Right, but I think it's because it's older.
Oh, more worn.
Because I think this one, I don't know, maybe they just bought the sheets while
maybe it's, I wonder if there's a difference in material too. Is that 100% cotton, do you think? Or
I'm going to say it's a little bit on the scratchy side, so maybe there's a little bit of polyester into that. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that this one's 100% cotton. But I'm also seeing, if you look at the weave itself, I'm thinking that it has
a tighter weave, or
a larger thread count.
Yeah. Versus
the red one. So, thread count matters, apparently. Even when weaving. But this kind of strip, just cracks my world up because it's High School Musical sheets. And so it has High School Musical sayings on it. It just makes me smile every time I'm going on it. But that's, if it's something that you're interested in to, possibly get rid of some rags around the house, go check out some Hen Scratch Quilting. And I do believe it's just hen, like the bird hen, scratchquilting.com. And Janet and her husband are the ones that are doing that, and she has a YouTube video out of how she weaves that.
Very cool. Yeah, and her video, she has all of the rugs she's woven in the background, and they're very cool. And she's a quilter, right? And she uses her leftover scraps from quilting, so that's also very cool. And she uses woven fabric like that, so.
Right. But I use straight scissors on these, and I think next time I cut, I'm going to see if I can use some pinking shears.
Yeah.
So the pinking shears are the ones that make the kind of diamond shape at the end of fabric. And
or you need to get a rotary blade that is.
Well, that's like a pinking shear rotary blade, yeah, because I have a rotary blade, and again, it's just straight cut. So. But granted, everything I have is a little on the old side because our sewing staples out here are not very well stocked.
Yeah, there's somewhat limited selection, and it's also very, very expensive. We end up ordering a lot online, but then sometimes it's hard to order online because you want to see it, you know. So it's hard sometimes. Did you get anything else in the mail?
No, I didn't. Well, except for the that squirrel bag that I would like to show next week.
Yay. Okay. I got lots and lots of undyed fiber. I'm just going to show you one little braid that I made up already. You can see that it has a lot of shine to it, right? This is a merino and silk blend, which I love. Can't wait to dye it up. The lights are kind of washing it out a little bit, but if I hold it back here, you can see it's very shiny, very soft. I love it. So I got...
That's just straight merino? You said
merino and silk. Merino and silk.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. This is merino and Tessa silk. And, so it should draft very smoothly and be really nice to work with. I got BFL, I got some Falkland, I got merino tensile, I got superfine merino, I got a lot of fun stuff to work with. So that's what I've been dyeing up this week. So I'll show you just a few of the things that I've dyed. This is some Falkland top. It's in a blue kind of gradient here. Let's see, here's one that is... This is merino tensile. I love how this turned out. Yeah, it's and then the merino tensile just has such a nice sheen to it. Also very nice to work with. Here's some Polworth.
She gave me a love nibble.
Sorry, she does that. I like how this one came out too. Your colors, right?
Yeah. Oh.
It's just to remind me what kind of fiber it is. It just says Polworth on it. And here is a braid of merino. So.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. So very exciting, very fun. Lots of dyeing for me to do. And with that, I think we've come to the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're a little bit shorter this time too, so
Success.
That's good. Yay! So, see, we're improving already. So, hopefully this video has sound this time, and we'll be uploading it soon. And you can find the show notes at lostbirdsfiber, all one word, .com on the blog. This video is on YouTube as well, and join the Ravelry group and let us know what you think. So we'll see you next week. Bye.
Luna, your butt's in the way.